Hey there, community. Did you do your estate plan and then never look at it again? If you're like most people, you likely think that estate planning is just one more thing that you have to do on your to-do list that you've checked off, and you may have shopped around, found a lawyer to create estate planning documents for you, or you might try creating one on your own, using online documents. Please don't ever do that. Then you'll put those documents in a drawer, on a shelf, in the closet, and mentally check estate planning off of your to-do list and forget about them. The problem is estate planning is not a one and done type of deal. In fact, if it's not regularly updated when your assets, family situation, the laws change, your plan is going to be worthless. What's more is that failing to update your plan can create its own set of problems that can leave your family worse off than if you've never created a plan at all. And that's what I want to talk about. My name is Sotera Anderson, and I'm a personal legacy lawyer. I protect families and their legacies by helping them plan for the unexpected. I want to tell you a story that illustrates the consequences of not updating your plan. This experience was one of the leading catalysts for creating a new family-centered model of estate planning that we use with all of our clients. So, a game-changing realization. When my friend was in law school, her father-in-law died. He'd done an estate plan, or at least thought he did. He paid a Florida law firm about $3,000 to prepare an estate plan for him so his family wouldn't be stuck dealing with the hassles and expense of probate court and drawn into, needless conflict with his ex-wife. And yet, after his death, that's exactly what did happen. His family was forced to go to court in order to claim assets that were supposed to pass directly to them. And then on top of that, they had to deal with the ex-wife and her attorneys in the process. My friend couldn't understand it. If her father-in-law paid $3,000 for an estate plan, why were his loved ones dealing with the court and the ex-wife? It turned out that not only had his planning documents not been updated, but assets weren't even properly titled. Her father-in-law created a trust so that when he died, his assets would pass directly to the family and they wouldn't have to endure probate. But some of his assets had never been transferred into the name of the trust from the very beginning. And since there was no updated inventory of his assets, there was no way for his family to confirm everything he had when he died. So to this day, one of his accounts is still stuck in the Florida Department of Unclaimed Property. My friend thought for sure that must be malpractice. But after working for one of the best law firms in the country and interviewing other top estate planning lawyers across the country, she confirmed that what happened to her father-in-law was not malpractice at all. In fact, it was common practice. Knowing what happened to my friend when I started my own law firm, and I did so with the intention and the commitment that I would ensure that my clients' plans would work when their families needed it to work, and create a service model built around that mission. So, will your plan work when your family needs it? We hear stories all the time. And in fact, outside of not creating any plan at all, one of the most common planning mistakes that we encounter is that we get called by loved ones of someone who has become incapacitated or died with a plan that no longer works. Yet by that point, it's too late, and the loved ones are left behind to deal with the aftermath. We recommend that you review your plan annually to make sure it's up to date and immediately amend your plan following events like divorce, deaths, births, inheritance, fights. This is so important that we've created proprietary systems designed to ensure that updates are made for all of our clients so that you don't need to worry about whether you've overlooked anything for your family, the law, or when your assets change over time. Furthermore, because your plan is designed to protect and provide for your loved ones in the event of your death or incapacity, we aren't just here to serve you, we're here to serve your entire family. We take the time to get to know your family members and include them in the planning process, so everyone affected by your plan is well aware of what your latest planning strategies are and why you made the choices that you made. Unfortunately, many estate planning firms do not engage the whole family when creating an estate plan, leaving the spouse and other loved ones largely out of the loop. We believe that planning process works best when all of your loved ones are educated and engaged. We can even facilitate regular family meetings to keep everyone up to date. We have built-in systems to keep your plan current. Our legal services are designed to make estate planning as streamlined and worry-free as possible for both you and your family. Unlike the lawyers who worked with my friend's father-in-law in Florida, we don't just create documents and put the onus on you to ensure that they stay updated and function as intended. We take care of that on our end. For example, in our built-in systems and processes, we've prevented 2 of the biggest mistakes by lawyers who created my friend's father-in-law's plan. These mistakes include 1, not keeping his assets properly inventoried, and 2, not properly titling assets held by his trust. Maintaining a regularly updated inventory of all your assets is one of the most vital parts of keeping your plan current. Will not only help you create a comprehensive asset inventory, but will make sure the inventory stays consistently updated throughout your lifetime. As to properly titling assets held by a trust, when you create a trust, it's not enough to just list your assets that you want it to cover. You have to actually transfer the legal title of certain assets like real estate, bank accounts, securities, brokerage accounts, to the trust, known as funding the trust, in order for them to be dispersed properly. Most lawyers will create a trust for you, but few will ensure that your assets are properly funded. We'll not only make sure your assets are properly titled when you initially create your trust, we'll also ensure that your new assets that you acquire over the course of your life are inventoried and properly funded to your trust. This will keep your assets from being lost, as well as prevent your family from being inadvertently forced into court because your plan was never fully completed. So, for the love of family, for the love of your family, with us, your personal legacy lawyer, our planning services go far beyond simply creating documents and then never seeing you again. In fact, we'll develop a relationship with your family that lasts not only for your lifetime, but for the lifetime of your children and their children, if that's what you wish. We'll support you in not only creating a plan that keeps your family out of court and out of conflict in the event of your death or incapacity, but we'll also ensure your plan is regularly updated to make certain that it works and is there for your family when you cannot be. Contact us today to get started.